staying in the black excellence or just black positivity. Um, of course, last week I talked about the Sesame Place situation where the people who were dressed up in the costumes were being basically racist to the fucking toddlers and shit that was out to the black kids and shit that was out there. So of course those videos went viral all the last 2-3 weeks or so when that shit happened. And then shortly after that, there was a bunch of videos and shit going around, basically talking about how Sesame Street came to be, and of course Sesame Place is a derivative of Sesame Street. But it came. I don't know if it came out or if this was public knowledge, and I just wasn't paying attention growing up. But Sesame Street was made by a black man. It was made by a black man, a black psychiatrist by the name of, where is it at? I just had this shit. I just had it because I was just reading on it the other day. Um, fuck, where did it go? Chester Pierce is the man's name. Chester Pierce was an American psychiatrist who invented he basically came up with the, oh, what the fuck is this? No. He basically came up with the whole idea of Sesame Street. And I don't get, my memory is fucking terrible, but from what I remember from the article, it was during the time of segregation and civil rights and things of that nature. And what he basically did was he was just paying attention to the type of cartoons and the type of TV shows that kids were with that black children, specifically in, I want to say it was the Bronx, New York, I believe, or Harlem, somewhere in New York, somewhere in New York. But like I said, he was basically paying attention to the type of commercial or the type of cartoons and TV shows and things like that that they were watching, and put it put he basically put everything together, and fuck, my fault, y'all. I just lost my train of thought. But he basically put everything together as a way to give them something to try and even out the educational gap between children of color and white children. Of course, at that time, it was a huge difference in the way that we learned, the things that they taught us in school, and the things that they taught the white children in school. So he decided to do something about this. So he actually went to, it was this white man and his white woman. He went to them and got the funding. And due to the time that it was created, if you actually search the founders or the creators of Sesame Street, the white man and the white woman's name pop up, and his name doesn't pop up. I think his name might pop up as his name. His name pops up somewhere along, but you have to like read through it and shit. But through what I read anyway, it was Chester Pierce whose uh basically the original idea was. But like I said, of course, during the time that was in, he had to go through the white people to actually get it funded. So that made the Sesame Place shit look 1,000 times worse after I found that out, my nigga. Because like I said, I don't know if that was common knowledge and I just wasn't paying the fucking attention, but I definitely didn't know that Sesame Street was made by a black man and specifically made for black and brown children. So that was something huge to me, and that shit blew my mind because it's kind of like, fam, look at the shit in our history that they hide from us, my nigga. Like, who the fuck would have known that? Because I swear I've never heard about that before, bruh. I've never heard about a black man was the one who created Sesame Street. So shout out to him, fam, because and shout out to this bullshit public education, specifically in North Carolina, because that's what I'm familiar with. But for not teaching us shit, and just covering up shit. Like, fam, it's just crazy what the fuck they cover up and don't tell us about the greatness of our people, bro. Like, my nigga, I randomly found out one day that a black man invented fucking air conditioning, fam. Like, it be little shit that's not it's not little shit because it's shit that we use every fucking day. But it's like, fam, who the fuck would have thought that a black man came up with some of this shit, bro? Like, if you don't know, you just don't fucking know. And then it's like, who the fuck is gonna teach you? Because they don't teach you shit in school. They don't teach you shit. I mean, you can't really learn shit out in the fucking world, my nigga. I'm learning shit on fucking TikTok about goddamn black history and shit. Like, fam, I didn't know none of this shit. And then that's just like I was listening to what the fuck was I listening to? Brilliant Idiots. I listened to Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne, and he had Chris Morrell on there, who is a basically the he's basically somebody, I don't know what the fuck his exact title is, but he's somebody who works a lot with the New York podcast, and he does like behind the scenes producer type shit. But he's putting out a audiobook series or something like that, I believe, about the Hope bombing in I believe Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Yeah, in Philadelphia. And I mean, you just have to do your googles on that. But basically, what it was this. I don't know if it was one family or if it was this group of people who called themselves it was the Hope movement or something like that. I ain't listened to the shit just yet. I don't think it's came out just yet. But it was these people that they went by the Hope movement, and they believed in this certain way of living, and they was in this black neighborhood, this predominantly black middle class neighborhood, and they got into it with the police, and one day the police mayor dropped a fucking bomb on them and burned down like 72 houses in Philadelphia, some crazy shit. But then the shit is crazy because I had heard about that part before, but he started going in depth, and this is what his audiobook series thing is going to be about, like the full story of it. So I had heard about the bombing before, but what I didn't know is that the fucking mayor who signed off on the bombing or approved the bombing or whatever was a black man. I didn't fucking know that, bro. This shit is fucking wild. Like, I was just listening. Like I said, I'm waiting for the shit to come out, or it's probably out by now, and I just ain't been paying attention. But I'm waiting to see or read or hear whatever the fuck. Like I said, I think it was audio book thing. So I'm waiting for the shit to come out so I can really learn about it. But yeah, my nigga, I didn't know that the fucking mayor who signed off on this shit was black, and also that the hope the hope the hope movement people. I can't remember their fucking names, but the people who was the hope movement people or whoever, they were they were basically causing shit between the it was like they was inside this neighborhood, so it was like people who weren't a part of the whole movement, they was like urging the mayor and the city to do something about them because they was like fucking up their way of living type shit. Like, they was playing fucking chants and shit on the intercoms because they wanted the police to leave them alone and give them certain type of demands and shit like that. So it was like black people in the neighborhood around them was trying to get the city to do something about them, and then it's like they did something about them and it turned into what it turned into. So it's kind of like it's fucked up all the way around. But it's like, fam, I would have never known that there was a fucking black mayor who approved that shit. And then you could also say that it just because you got a black face that's sitting council or whatever for politics, that don't necessarily mean that he's the one pulling the strings. But I don't know, my nigga. It was interesting as fuck to me, so I just thought I would bring the shit up. How the fuck did I get here? Off of goddamn Sesame Street. Ain't that some shit, bruh? Ain't that some fucking shit? Let me see. What else we got?